Hello all, today we are leaders trying to rebuild our businesses during these challenging times in the game. Crisis. Send out your managers to invest in different industries, trading resources, hiring, taking loans, producing and navigating local bureaucracy with the odd shady deal as you contribute to the future of Axia or maybe even its demise. Now this one's medium complexity, plays 1 to 5 and solo works really well here, may I add. Now it takes in the region of 45 to 120 minutes, with my plays typically being about 90 minutes plus, and we can see the designers and the publisher. Some of the mechanisms include worker placement and semi-co-op. Right, let's go and fix this crisis. Welcome to Axia. Now I've got a 2-player setup, kind of mid-game here, and we are trying to bail out this country as entrepreneurs. The government is getting rid of all these businesses, privatising them, and we are trying to help this economy out. Now the Economic Union has set us on an austerity plan here. Now this game plays solo all the way up to 5, so depending on how difficult you want to make this, you can choose different austerity plans, and you can see over the 7 rounds it's going to get challenging as you collectively try to meet the targets, and this game will either end if the financial sort of crisis and status here ever goes below 0, but there's still an opportunity. You'll all lose, but there's still an opportunity for one of you to maybe take the win if you've managed to beat the current target, and you'll do a few other bits. The other way the game can end is if 7 rounds come to an end, you see who has the most victory points, you turn some of your money into victory points as well, and you take some penalty tokens and you pay off all your loans. So what are we doing then? So we can see the first thing is revealing an event, and depending on how the crisis is in the economy, you're going to take either a green card, a yellow or a red. So let's say we take a yellow card, so you can see there's a host going on here. We've got workers union. Each player must set aside 1 employee that may not be used this round. Wow, that's a big negative. You start with 4 workers. We're going to be handicapped here of just a 3. The typical worker placement, you got 1 to 14 spots, and I'll go through all those shortly. You can attain a 5th worker by collecting these little symbols here on the card. So you can see if you acquire 3 of these symbols in your portfolio, you will attain a work and you can use it next round. So what can we do as entrepreneurs then? So up here we've got the current event. Number 1, we can go and get some influence. So you've got a host of these cards here, and you can see this one is grey import, so it tells you when you can use it, and they're typically quite nice. Either get 2 victory points or you can get resources on this one. You can play 1 of those per round, and you can decide to use it whenever you want. So maybe someone goes here. Now you can see this is a larger spot, so you can have multiple people there. We've got government subsidies. You can just go and get 4 money, and your money's tracked on the side here. If you go beyond 50, that's fine. There's tokens to show, you can go beyond 50, and you got loads of money there, plus 100. So that's government subsidy, number 2. It's important the flow of these numbers, because you might want to go here to get your money before you then do something else and acquire a worker. Number 3 then, you can go and take first position. So this is the turn order track, and for doing so you've committed to first for next round, and you're also going to get a bump up of a VP. Number 4, you can go second in turn order and get 1 of these shady deals, they call them, or influence. So this is the turn order. That's going to fluctuate depending on where you go here. And number 5 then, you can go and get a loan. So you can have up to 4 loans. You're going to get 10 money, which is great. It's helping your business out, but you're going to get minus a 1 victory point, and be mindful of that interest, because the first thing you do is draw an event. The second thing you do is pay interest on all your loans you have of 1 coin per loan. And then we go to planning, which is what we're doing now, placing our workers out on all these spots. So maybe you want to come here and get a loan, and that is a 1-time use spot. Here we got number 6, which we can go and get some domestic produce. So without having to pay the victory points, we can just pay the money instead. Maybe number 7, we want to get a temporary worker, which can be used as anything like a joker. We've got the foreign market here, where dependent on how bad the crisis is will determine how much these workers cost to add them to your industries. We've got employees we can hire at no cost. We've got businesses we can take here. We're paying them money at the top. We're getting instant VPs, and I'll show you how you utilize your workers and resources to make these function optimally optimally and get the most resources to hopefully export them. So we've got all the businesses, and you just sort of place your worker on here and be mindful of those little sort of manager symbols as well, which you're hoping to attain your 5th worker. Number 11 then, we've got imports, where you can, spend victory points and money to attain various resources. And I've got a bit of a close-up. These are all the resources in the game here, so some really nice production components there. So yeah, a host of variety to import. Number 12, you've got the energy market, so you're literally spending resources, sometimes money, multiple times to go and get energy, because you can see, for example, this bank here is going to need an energy to be able to utilize this and get the benefits out of it. This here is a price track, which you're going to be using to keep track of, if you pick a resource, say chemicals, you can see it's going to cost you 3 victory points and 6 money to attain this, which reminds you up here. And you can see if you sell chemicals to export them out, you're getting 2 victory points and 3 money each. Or if you utilize that black market, you're just going to get 6 money, a way to get loads more money in your business. So that's a price track there. Number 13 then. So I'll come around to production in a moment. But how this is going to work then, let's say blues are at first. They're like, okay, I want to go and get some money. Done. White's up next. They want to go and get this business. Now you're just planning. You're going to operate these surely. Back around to blue. They're like, okay, I really need a loan. Done. So they go at 1 on here. White's around. They really need this worker. Which one are we going to go for? We're going to go here because we need a spanner, which is an engineer. And we can see in the labour market, the domestic one, there is no engineers. So we're going to have to go pay for foreign workers to help us out. Right, that was the white player. Blues up, and we're short a worker because there was that event, wasn't there? Workers' union. So blues are thinking, okay, I'm getting money. I'm getting more money, but I haven't actually done anything with that money. I've got these particular businesses here, bank, which are occupied, so I'm going to go and get a business. But then have I got the resources to fulfill that business? And they've took the power plant, which doesn't need any resources. So there's loads of things to think about, and the order and the time, and you need to get these resources. Now, I'm going to go with domestic market because we need an energy to provide for this bank. And I should add, any resources you produce from, say, this farm can't then be used immediately to sort of chain and help this resort out. So you have to save resources from round to round to be able to power things. And you can see your warehouse here, it's got limits as to what you can hold as capacity. Anything more and you're going to be discarding it. So okay, we've gone there, and let's say everyone's placed out their workers. Whites have got one more, haven't they? Now they're around here, and we're thinking, okay, what do we need? Let's go export, and I'll give you a demo of that one. So everyone's placed. That is planning. Over to operations. Start of number 1. No one wanted some influence or shady deal. These guys are getting 4 money. They go up this track, boom. No one wanted to affect a turn order, number 3 and 4. We have a loan, so they're going to get 10 money, bump up there, and they're going to go down 1 on the victory point track. Now this is mid-game. Some of this stuff wouldn't be where it was, in round 2. This should really be, where 25 is. Okay. Where are we? So we're over to number 6. These guys are going to take one of these resources, but they don't have to pay the victory points. You can see normally, let's say they want the energy, it'd be 1 victory point, 1 money, but it's only going to cost them 1 money in this case. So they store this one on there. Okay. Down here, so they are going to take a worker. I think I demonstrated that already, but depending on which crisis level you're in, it's in the yellow. If you wanted to take one of these, it's going to cost you 3 money. As the economy gets better, it's going to cost you more. As it gets weaker, it's going to cost you less. We've got the temporary worker. No one went for there. The labour market at the bottom. So this player is getting one of those hammer symbols over to the businesses, top to bottom. So they're going to pay 10 money immediately for the power plant. Boom, they've just about got enough money. Now, if you can't fulfill one of these actions, you are going to be penalised. And it says in the rules, it reminds you which locations and how many victory points you're going to lose. And you'll keep these to the end of the game. If you can't pay for one of these businesses, whatever the victory point it says on it, you are going to lose that number of victory points as well. And there's sort of 3s and 1s on these. So they take the power plant for the white player. And they take the worker back. We come back down. No one was importing goods. No one was getting energy. And we go to production. So let's show you a close-up of production. So you've got all these workers you've acquired, and you can mix and match across your industries. So you're picking where to put them. Now, you need at least 1 worker. It doesn't matter about the strength to actually activate it. So we are going to place this one here. Now, this particular worker, it has a combo of either the matching symbol there, which is like a spade, and then we've got a hammer as well. So we're going to utilise that. that spade there to operate this farm. Now, if we operated it just like this, you can see this farmer or such is going to produce one food production, which is one of these little bread tokens here, and we'd store that there. But if we want to make it more efficient and have optimal production, we can match the symbols up. So maybe we want to put that one there, and maybe we want to put this little spade symbol. Now this one, when it produces, you ignore that one, that's just to activate it. We've got 1 plus the 2 is 3, plus that one is a production of 4 food. Now this one over here, so we can only utilize these workers once, so you have to distribute them across your industries accordingly. So we have got a hammer symbol there. Now, we can't use this food production we've just acquired on here to produce this, but we did have some from a previous round, so we can spend that. We've met the requirements to operate this resort. So we look at the bottom, we're going to get 2 times 2 money. Boom, we go up the track. We're also going to get 2 victory points. Now, as you bolt on more hammers here and potentially finance, you can see, 1 plus the 2 is 3 victory points. 1 plus the 2 is a multiplier of 3. So 3 times the 2, which is very nice with the bank at the top here. So you can see these guys, when they spend 1 energy and they've got someone utilised for finance there, they are going to spend this energy. It's gone. They got 1 plus the 1 is 2. Plus the 2 here is 4. 4 times the 5, 20 money. So you can see the power of the multipliers and getting victory points and getting resources. Now, resources are crucial because once everyone's done your production, we come over to exporting the goods. Now, I'm just going to assume both players went there. The white player is first. Now, you've got these 2 columns which are currently in play. They can pick one of these goods and they have to provide at least a minimum of 1 good. So let's say they go for this 4 food. They're going to spend 3 food here. We look at the price track. Each food production is going to get 1 victory point and 2 money. So we're going to go up 6 money and 3 victory points. Done. The next player goes and they're like, I really wanted that one, but hey, there's another one here. Maybe they're not even in bread, they're in some kind of chemicals, so they provide the chemicals to export. It then comes back around to the white player and they can continue to do these as long as they meet the minimum of 1, and you can do the maximum of what the number is. Now you can equally go to the black mark here, which is on the side. You can do up to 1 resource per go, so you could do the food production once up to a maximum of 4, then you could do the chemicals. You just couldn't do 2 bread, and this is getting an influx of money, so liquidity into your industry rather than contributing to the actual bump up of victory points. You've gone to the black market, so there we go, you're getting your money. And that is pretty much it. You take your workers back. You will then go and evaluate the economy. So let's say, where are we? This player, the white player, is on 22 and the target was 25. They are -3. The economy goes down 1, 2, 3 on the crisis, but the blue player saved the day. They're on 29 versus 25. The economy is going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see, you take into account those who are below the target, those who are above, and hopefully, you're never going to get all the way down here and go below 0 to bankrupt it. At the end of the round, you're going to discard this column. You're going to shuffle these along, and there's a host of different exports to meet. You get rid of all the businesses. There'll be new ones coming out. If I get a few level 3s, you can see, we've got spaceports here, and you can see loads of money. We've got power plants that require, minerals. We've got freighters, so loads of juicy things going on there. Farms that produce more, and you get rid of those. You will then get rid of all these employees, and you've got a bag of those, and you'll be bringing out new ones. You bring back the temp worker. Foreign workers always stay there, and you carry on. Now, as you go through the rounds, some rounds, if you've met the target, you're going to get extra influence. And as I say, after round 7, if the economy and the crisis has not led to bankruptcy, you will see who's got the most victory points. You will add on at a ratio of 5 to 1 your money into victory points. You will take into account those penalty tokens and see who the winner is. Now, remember, if you do go bankrupt, there's still a chance for a player to win. If they do have, if they've beaten the target, you will not do the 5 to 1 on the money because the economy is bankrupt. Money is not worth anything. But equally, you will not lose these penalty tokens as well, and you may have a winner there. And you just keep going, and you're trying to get an extra worker with these little symbols here because it's, worker placement is powerful. And that is the game, folks. Enjoy.